All right, so we have been practicing simplifying radicals. That's what your homework was last night, was to practice simplifying. Over the next couple of days, we're going to practice multiplying and dividing radicals. Just today, we are going to multiply radicals. So this right here is the property for multiplying radicals. If there are two radicals right beside each other, right here we have the square root of 4 times the square root of 9. You can put those both under the same square root and then multiplying. Or if they're both perfect squares, the square root of 4 is 2, the square root of 9 is 3, so 2 times 3 is 6. It's not always going to be perfect squares though. Let's look at this example right here. We want to simplify the square root of 2 times the square root of 14. Well, let's go ahead and break it apart. 2 just breaks down to be 2 and 1. What's 14 break down to be? 7 and 2. So the only thing I can circle is 2 and 2. So those come out one time. So 2's in front, and who's left at home? 7. So that's your answer. Yes, you would get the square root of 28. Because 2 times 14 is 28. And then you would just have to break it down to 4 and 7, which breaks down to 2 and 2, which is the same thing. Okay, so it's your preference. If you want to multiply them first and then do that, you can. Or if you want to go ahead and do it at the beginning. So, last period, I went ahead and taught all of this. But I think it got too much. And it was too much in one day. So for y'all, we're going to skip this, and we're just going to practice the multiplying problems today. One step at a time. So, I want you, let's do number 1. So what does 3 break down to be? 1 and 3. Blaze, what does 6 break down to be? 3 and 2, very good. So we're still doing the same thing with the circling. Yeah, so we're going to do the same thing. Circle your 3's. So 3 can come out front and 2 is left inside. This would work the same way if you would have multiplied them. 3 times 6 is 18. Well, 18 breaks down to be 9 and 2 or 3 and 3, which you can circle and bring out. I think it's easier to break them down in the beginning. But we're going to get to some, like 4, where you can't do that. Yes? Well, 1 times 2 is just 2. Okay? I want you to try 2 and 3. Try 2 and 3 on your own. Do these break down to be anything? Yeah. Well, I mean, but I can't circle anything, right? Like, this is 1 and 2, and this is 1 and 5. The only thing I can circle is 1, but that doesn't really help me at all. So in that case, just do 5 times 2, which is square root of 10. Circle your 1s. 1 comes out. 5 times 2 is... It'll give you a decimal, and I don't want decimals. Okay? Go ahead and do 3. What did 3 break down to be? What's 10? 2 and 5, and then this break down to be 1 and 5. 5 and 5 comes out front, so 5 square root of 2 times 1, which is... Okay, good. Now we're to number 4. When you are multiplying your radicals, if it is outside, it can only be multiplied with other outsiders. If it is inside, it can only be multiplied by other inside peeps. Okay? So, on these, I like to multiply them first because it just gives too many numbers. So if we went ahead and multiplied, 4 times 3 is 12. 6 times 10 is,
16.
so you have 12 square root of 60. Well, now we're back to step 1. We have to simplify them now. I could only multiply outside by outside, inside by inside. So I got 4 times 3 is 12, 10 times 6 is 60. So now we're back to like our homework last night. We have to simplify it. Well, this breaks down to be 6 and 10, and then 3 and 2. 10 breaks down to be 2 and 5. Yes?
I put 12 and 5.
Okay, you should get the same thing. Because 12 breaks down to be 6 and 2, and then 3 and 2. And it's 12 times 5, 60. Then you'll get the same thing. Okay? I'm going to circle 2's. Can I circle anything besides 2's? No. So 2 can come out, and I have to multiply it with what? 12. So 2 times 12, which becomes 24. And then I'm left with the square root of 3 times 5, which is 15. Yeah, you could have. You could have. It would give you the same thing. Yes. Next Wednesday, not next Wednesday, but the next. What's that Wednesday on senior exam week? Okay, that's your test day. Regardless of how far we get, we have to test on that day so that I can take 2 days to review for your exam. And if you don't have to review for your exam, you're done on the 17th. You still have to come, but you're done.
I'll be testing the week before the exam.
Because we still have to cover stuff.
That could be on the.
And because it is going to be on your exam. And I have to have 6 tests every 9 weeks. 5. Your project was number 5. This is 6. Okay? Hey, let's keep going. So, on the front, I want you to do number 5. Number 5. It's on my desk. That pink one. Oh, thank you. All right, let's do it together. So, did you break down your square roots first? Okay. So this one breaks down to be 1 and 3. This one breaks down to be 1 and 3. So I can circle both of them, right? Technically speaking, you can circle 1 and 1 and 3 and 3. So our square roots go away. So we pull out front. Don't forget about your original 3. He gets to come out front regardless, okay? So here he comes, walking. Woo! There he is. Okay? This little 3 right here just walked around to the front. Okay? So I took him, I reversed him, and I pushed him all the way up here. Okay. Now we have our 3 from the circles and our 1 from the circles. And remember, when you are breaking down these x's, you have 2 over here, so you can circle them, and that's 1 circle. So that's 1x. And then over here you have 4 x's, which you can circle twice, so it comes out 2 more times. So now let's just multiply all this together. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x times x.
2x, x to the third.
X to the third. That's your answer. Okay? Now, what I want you to do, on the back, I want you to finish 1 through 13. All. Because you have 20 minutes. 1 through 13, all.